Hey there guys, it's DMO73 bringing you another profile for the day. This is the red, white, blue Kaguya 2.0 build that you saw me run on Wednesday. Let's just go ahead and jump right in. So this is Moon Princess of Stellar Wars is your ruler. Doesn't have any effect on her ruler side unlike Kaguya 1.0, but that's okay because you're going to try and want to flip her pretty much as soon as you can anyway. So her J activate is pay 2 of any color and then X, and you can only spend Moon Will on X. So you can kind of determine how much you spend on her to J activate her. So then you flip her over and she becomes Kaguya the Immortal Princess, who has flying and imperishable. So just like Dracula or Bahamut with imperishable, if she gets killed, she flips back over to her ruler side, goes back to the ruler zone, and can be re-J activated later. This is different than any other ruler who just gets killed, stays on their J ruler side, and can just be used for tapping stuff. So that's pretty cool and pretty unique. Not very many rulers have that, so she's the third ruler to have that, so that's pretty awesome. Her enter ability is search your deck for X treasury items, where X is, the amount of Moon Will you spent to flip her over. And then put them straight onto the field. So you can put them right onto Resonators, you can put them right onto her, anything like that. Anything that's a legal target for those, additions, you can attach it to. So that's pretty cool. Just search your deck, immediately buff up some of your creatures is really powerful. Continuous effect, this card gains plus 200 attack for every treasury item you control. So while her initial attack is pretty low, she gets buffed by you just simply controlling treasury items. Meaning that if you equip her with a treasury item that boosts her attack, she's also going to get a boost from it being a treasury item. So she can become a quick 1000 pretty easily, if not bigger than that. And then activate is you can banish 3 treasury items you control to take control of target resonator permanently. So you can just steal something permanently using her ability. That's pretty big. I haven't found a chance to use that yet. I feel like that'd be really powerful late game, especially if you spend a lot of will on her to flip her over. But for now, that's something that I think a deck can utilize, but that's not really something that's utilized in this deck. Moving on to the Mana Stone. We run 3 Magic Stone of Moonshade because it can get you any color and it's a good source of Moonwill. We run 2 of the Magic Stone of Moonlight because again it's a moon source and it can copy any color you control. So the cool thing is if you control both of these, then Magic Stone of Moonlight can actually copy and get any color, can produce will of any color. So that's really powerful there. Makes for a unique thing. And we only run 2 of the Magic Stone of Moonlight because we don't want to see this on a turn 1 flip very often, because otherwise it means we just wasted a turn. Because if I don't control any other kind of attribute colors for Magic Stones and I have a Magic Stone of Moonlight, it can only produce Moonwill. So yeah, it's not really effective. Then we run 4 Magic Stone of Light Vapors because primarily it is a light water deck. So that we want to be able to copy the light water as much as possible. And then we run the yellow, little red, the pure stone, because oftentimes you're using it for light or water, and also it just looks pretty. So 1 little red, the pure stone to kind of cap off the mana. Jumping into the Resonators, we have our draw engine of the 4 Cheshire Cats. I'm not going to go over this again, pretty standard in any water deck for a draw engine. We run 4 Little Mermaid of Tragic Love, also really common in Kaguya decks just in general because of being able to equip Loginus to her and just make plays for that. Your opponent is forced to block when you play her, or when you attack with her, so if you tap down certain things and then swing in with a Little Mermaid, it causes a lot of interesting plays there. So that's really awesome. And then if she ever gets destroyed from the field, put to the graveyard, for any reason, then you get to draw a card. So she's also a draw engine. It's pretty sweet. And then I talked about this in my Happily Ever After build, but this deck runs even bigger amount of it. The Little Princes and I the Pilots. I the Pilot, especially with Little Mermaid of Tragic Love, is really powerful because you can tap down something that you don't want to kill if your opponent has like 2 cards, and then swing in with Little Mermaid. And they're forced to block with the thing that you do want to kill, so you can just control your opponent's ability to be able to keep their stuff safe, which is really powerful. As well as the fact that, Little Prince is an 800, or I the Pilot is an 800, and can call out Little Prince. So like even 1 I the Pilot into Little Prince is really powerful because you can just chump block with a little prince and get a free 1,000 life out of a hit. So like that's really, really powerful. And as you saw in that video, I was able to get 3,000 life off of one little prince. I mean, that's insane. So that's really, really good. Then we run 2 Etna the Snow Queen, just for kind of a massive kind of finisher to kind of close out the board state, lock everything down, just to make sure that I'm in good shape, as well as being able to force your opponent to discard cards is always good. And then 3 Alice the Guardian of Dimensions. This card is, to be perfectly honest, I think one of the most like powerful cards of this set. It's insane. She has flying, so she's a 700/700 with flying, so that's automatically really good. As well as the fact that you can pay 1 blue to make something hexproof on your side of the board. So you can do that in response to something. As long as you have blue mana, you can just pay it, make that happen. It's really powerful. And you can pay 1 yellow and tap her and remove herself and 1 other Resonator from the game. So that has a really powerful impact, as well as just being able to be, you know, instant spot removal. So yeah, that's really great. Moving on to the spell lineup, the red element of this deck comes from these little removal spells, just 4 Thunders and 3 Crime and Punishment. This is the only part of the deck that's red. Crime and Punishment is a really powerful card against rulers. They swing in, you block with something, and then you immediately just burn them for the damage that they dealt and instantly kill something. So it's almost a 1-drop response kill for something that, I mean, that's really, really good. And any deck that's, you know, has room to be able to potentially run splash in red, this is a really solid card to put in the side deck, I think, for that. Then we run 3 Dreams of Juliet, for mostly for the hexproof element, but also sometimes for the draw, as well as the addition removal. Because this addition removal is pretty important, I think, right now. And so because this deck doesn't naturally run it in any of the creature lineups with like Sinbad or anything else like that, being able to have the addition removal with Dreams of Juliet is really powerful. 3 Shooting Stars. I mean, this card is nuts. You just pay 2 to redirect the target of a normal spell to a different target. It has to be a spell that only has a single target. So like if your opponent's playing Joan of Arc and they play Purifying Fire that does 2 things, you can't Shooting Star it, but like Absolute Cake Zone. I misworded it when I was doing my video. You can use Shooting Star to cancel a Cake Zone. You just have to have Cake Zone switch its target to Shooting Star as opposed to targeting itself. The spell can't target itself. So you can still cancel it, you just have to, that's just how you have to make it happen. You can still switch a Stoning to Death to make them kill one of their own creatures. Like, you can do all kinds of stuff. You saw me do it in the video a lot. Really, really powerful card. And then the treasury items are 3 Loginus the Holy Lance, and then 3 Apollosphere, the Moon Lance. Moon Lance can go on to Kaguya, which is really powerful. Loginus can't, but Loginus also gives it that 500/500 and hexproof from darkness cards. And then Apollosphere gives you a +400/0, and then you can banish Apollosphere to pay for a blue spell, like Shooting Star. So you can use Apollosphere even when you're mana'd out and your opponent's going to try and actually commit to a play, thinking that you're mana'd out, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get a free play, and then you go, okay, cool, that's unfortunate that you fell right into an Apollosphere hit from a Shooting Star, and now you've just gone -2 or something like that. So that's really, really powerful. And yeah, and that's it for the deck. That is red, white, blue. I mean, it's pretty much blue-white with just a hint of red, but it's designed to be primarily blue-white. Kaguya 2.0 with Loginus and Holy Apollosphere Lance shenanigans. So yeah, I hope you guys like that deck. Let me know what you think about it, what you would change, what you would play. Stay tuned next week for another deck profile. If you guys have any decks that you guys would like to see featured, feel free to shoot us a message about that. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, this is DMO73 signing off.